Hey everyone, we are back again for another Dokkan battle video. So, it's been a long time since I've made a concept video. So, here we are for Worldwide Download Celebration 2023 Future Saga. We have the units confirmed. We have Blue Goku and Vegeta who fuse into Vegito Blue. There's his official art here. It's right here. And then we also have a corrupted Merge ZAMASU, which unfortunately just has the same name as Int Merge ZAMASU, but it is what it is. Who has a domain ability or Dokkan Field or whatever you want to call it, where he becomes like Infinite Zamasu, the Sky one. The one reason the Sky in the anime, which is hilarious. But anyways, we'll get there. I made some concepts for the units. Do I think they're going to be this strong? I don't know. We'll see. I did this last year for Carnival Goku, Tech Carnival Goku, and Cooler, right? Which was a lot of fun. Definitely weren't as strong as the concepts I made, but they're both still ridiculously strong. I mean, I think Cooler was in the argument for best unit in the game. Carnival Goku was definitely top three, and Vegeta and Trunks were arguably still better than both of them. But we'll see. We are now looking at Vegito Blue. Now, Vegito Blue has not been here for 3 years. It's been over 1,000 days since we've had the goat in the game. So yeah, here we go. Let's break down what I decided to do with Vegito Blue. So, start things off, he's AGL. Oh, actually, before we get into this properly, this is going to be a long video because I just keep talking. I'll just keep going. So, yeah, this might be like 40 minutes. So, yeah, just so we're all aware, you'll see the timestamp. So, you'll know how long this video is. But I feel like it's probably going to be like 40 minutes long or so. I'll try to keep it a little bit lower than that because I'm doing both units, right? Because last year I split them up into two separate videos and they're still like 20 minutes each. So, we'll see. But anyways, we actually have the name of the unit already. So it's All Out Final Battle, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta. So I made Vegito AGL. Only reason he is AGL here is because we don't have a Super AGL Vegito Blue, right? We have Physical VB, we have Tech VB, in fact we have two Tech VBs, and we have an STR VB. We do not have an int one, and we don't have an AGL one. I just think he's going to be AGL. It makes more sense to me. He could very easily be int. Int would be fine. Int is a decent typing to be at the moment, honestly, with the hardest fight in the game. Well, he's on global, being the tech cell fight, And then, but him, if he does not guarding, he would be weak against Physical Sin, but Physical Sin is soon replaced by Int Omega anyway on JP, so it's like, it is what it is. Anyways, I'm going with AGL. So, at the time of recording this, I actually now know that part one is actually dual Dokkan Festival. So we're gonna have two red coin LRs. So I was under the assumption we were going to have a Carnival LR and a red coin LR for part one, and the same for part two, like Worldwide last year, rather than the 8th anniversary way, which was dual Dokkan Fest into double Carnival LR. So here we go. This was made before that. So Vegito actually I had as a Carnival LR with a 200% leader skill to fused fighters. I mean, I think you guys know how strong that team would be. But he's probably not going to be that now. I don't know what his leader skill would be. Who knows, But I'm assuming Battle of Fate will probably be in there. I do think fused fighters will probably also still be in there if he's a red coin LR. Somewhat or other. And probably like an extra 30% like Realm of Gods or something like that. But anyway, mine's fused fighters. So, again, he is technically Goku and Vegeta first. So, this part is to do with them, and then the second part will be Vegito Blue. And then we'll get on to Corrupted Merge Zamasu soon enough. So, his 12 key is cooperation between rivals, greatly raise attack and defense for one turn, colossal damage to enemy. Strong super attack effect. 50% attack and defense on 12 key is good. Nothing wrong with that. I think that would be solid for them. Now, for the worldwide units, I find that they often try to at least they either push power creep quite far or they get, strong enough. It's a decent push. Like again, Carnival Goku and Final Form Cooler pushed power creep with the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone, with like their strength, right? Them, Vegeta and Trunks, then they're kind of the tray. So these units I've made here are also pushing power creep. Not to a ridiculous extent, I don't think, but they're definitely like very strong and are probably the best units in the game. Probably. So yeah, just to keep that in mind. So 18 key, Goku and Vegeta's double attack, greatly raised attack and defense for 4 turns. it's very strong. It's or not attacking defense, sorry, just greatly raise defense for 4 turns. Obviously, that is very good. But yeah, that's what he is. That's how good this guy is. It's powerful. It's a powerful super attack effect. But anyways, we'll go into the passive here. Power to protect the dismal future. So the way this is gonna work is I put the passive into bullet points like it is on the newer Dokkan wiki, rather than just having it all written out, and it can be kind of confusing for some people to like comprehend everything, right? So this way, it's just in bullet points. You can just read them a lot easier as I'm kind of going through them here. So activates the entrance. Actually, I'll just put the whole thing up here. Yeah. So activates the entrance once only. That the animation I kind of envision for this is just them Goku just standing off about with Goku Black and ZAMASU before they go off into their separate fights. I think that's a good one. And then guard for 3 turns. It's not super busted, but again, it's very helpful for these units who have to build up, right? 3-turn guard is good. Anyways, so 3-turn guard, 150% attack and defense start of turn. They get 2 ki per ki sphere obtained. Obviously quite strong. 30% attack and defense with each super attack performed. So they need to do 4 super attacks to fully build up, which is not that many, really. An additional 50% attack and defense on Ultra Super, so you want to go for that 18k, but most of the time you'll be getting it anyways. They have 25% damage reduction, just base. That's just what they have. So in slot 1, like turn 1, they'll have guard 25% reduction. Like, it's strong with decent stats. They get a guaranteed additional super at 18k, which is, this is where you can see the slight push in power creep, because the 8th anniversary LRs have a 70% chance. These guys is guaranteed. And then their 24k ability is performs a critical hit, guaranteed crit, and launches an additional super at 24k. Like, that's obviously very strong. Yeah. So they could quad super. If you get 24k, they will launch their regular super. These will all be guaranteed crits, by the way. But it'll be regular super into an additional super at 24k, into an additional super at 18k, into hidden potential, right? And they're getting, again, 50% defense for each of the 12 keys and 50% defense for 4 turns on the 18k, with damage reduction and guard for the first 3 turns, while they're building up these stats here as well. So, and they're getting stats here. So it's a lot. They're mostly just stats, but they're high, Usually just stats isn't enough. You need guard, you need damage reduction, which is why they have a little bit of damage reduction, and they have guard for a few turns. Now, active skill, the Potara Fusion. How do you do it? I wanted to make it pretty easy, so you can just do it from turn 4. So you could link them up with Tech VB, who also transforms on turn 4. So yeah, that combining together, you can have double Blue Vegito out, one with 100% chance to dodge, and then what my Blue Vegito will be doing, which is a lot. You will see. So anyway, their link skills: Super Saiyan, Saiyan Warrior Race, Warrior Gods, Dismal Future, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. Obviously, strong link set. Having both Dismal Future and Prepare for Battle is good for the future team. Well, Prepare for Battle is just good in general, but Dismal Future for a future-centric team. Warrior Gods, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, just basic Saiyan links you'll see a lot of the time. Yeah, it's strong. So, we're moving on to Blue Vegito. Blue Vegito is a little silly, as you'll see. So, the final Spirit Slash, 100% defense for 1 turn. Mega Colossal. He's doing Mega Colossal on 18k and 12k. But yeah, massively raised defense for 1 turn. Obviously very strong. I mean, it's 100% defense, right? So, you know it's strong. And then Maximum Impact Rush, greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn, and Mega Colossal. Now, you're probably wondering why it goes down, right? Because, the 12 key gives 100% defense. Why is the 18 key giving only 50% defense and 50% attack? You will see. You will see why. So, his passive skill, Power to Overwhelm Omnipotence. So, yeah, he's Vegeta. We know what he's like. Okay, let's get into this. There's a lot to look at here. And this isn't even all of it. There's more. So, 200% attack and defense start of turn. Medium chance of crit. So 30% chance to crit baseline. Obviously that's good. 2 ki per ki sphere attained. And then he has 50% damage reduction, and he counters with tremendous power. So he's a counter unit. Like STR Vegito before him, like physical VB before him. like into Vegito before him. Like counters, it's been a while since I've had a super strong counter unit in the game. So, well, normal attack counters. We have had super attack counters. But yeah, this is he's strong. So he gives himself 5 key, and he has the Scouter for 3 turns from the start of the fight. So once you fuse, you have 3-turn Scouter. So if you fuse on turn 4, you Scouter for turn 4, 5, and 6, which is, strong. That's obviously pretty good, having the Scouter with his counters, right? So you can put him in front of a slot and be like, oh, well, he's not going to die because I have the Scouter up. And again, if he gets a super first, right? Again, he's getting 50% defense. He's getting 100% defense if he gets a 12 key. So yeah, it's quite strong. So he gets an extra 30% defense up to 90%, and crit chance up to 10% up to 30% every time the character receives an attack in battle. So this builds up. So once he gets hit 3 times, he'll have extra defense and extra crit chance, just permanent. It's yeah. And then for attack, he gets an extra 30% attack for each attack performed. So he's building up attack by doing super attacks, or just attacking, which is obviously very strong. And nullifying Keyblade supers aimed at this character once only, and then high chance to nullify Keyblade supers. So basically what that means is, the first time a Keyblade super is aimed at him, he guaranteed nullifies it. So I think you all know the animation. I'm thinking of when ZAMASU fires the Divine Wrath of Vegito after he just turns blue, and then he kind of just holds it and kind of crushes it in his hand. So yeah, that's a nullification animation. The first time one's aimed at them, guaranteed nullification. The second time, every time after that, it's a high chance. So yeah. So this is where I made him very dumb. This is where, well, if you didn't think he was dumb already, this is where it gets much dumber. He gets 2 guaranteed additional supers for 3 turns at the start of attacking turn. So as soon as he goes blue, he has 2. You're going to guarantee do 3 super attacks. The first one, the 2, and then 2 guaranteed additionals. And keep in mind, he's getting 100% defense on all of them. Now, the reason I didn't put attack on the 12 key, and I gave 50% attack and defense on the 18 key, is because if you could get multiple like attack raises while he's a counter unit, and with LR stats and like these level of stats, he would just, his counters would like one-shot bosses by themselves, genuinely. Like he would do a counter and he would do like 10 million. Like it would be ridiculous, and they could crit and like all this nonsense. This is where it gets ridiculous. So yeah, that's why he's only getting defense on his 18 k or his 12 ks, because it's like, again, if you got multiple attack raises, it's over. Now there is a little bit more. He guarantees launches an additional super from the turn in which his character performs the 5th attack in battle. So once he does 5 attacks, he will get a guaranteed additional super. And every time, once he gets hit 5 times in battle, he will also launch an additional super. Now, yeah, there is technically a scenario in this where he could launch like 7 super attacks, and with counters. And yeah, on that specific turn, with the Scouter up as well, on that specific turn, he would be unmatched by anything ever. Like, I don't think there'd be anything that could match him on that particular turn, but it's gonna be pretty unlikely to see. But there you go. That is Vegito Blue. We'll get into his active skill, which is the final Kamehameha, which I imagine being like the fighter's one, where you can see Goku and Vegeta in it, plus the Omega finishing blow, which they could take from like Legends or like even the anime, right, where he does the final Kamehameha, ZAMASU jumps into the sky, then he punches him and then defuses, right? So you can take it from there. Greatly raise attack temporarily, ultimate damage to enemy, and disables enemy action once within the turn, so it has an attack break on it, and then can be activated from a character's next attacking turn. So he can't do it on his first turn, he has to do it on his second turn, but yeah. Vegito Blue. Link skills: Super Saiyan, Warrior Gods, power bestowed by God, over in a flash, Fused Fighter, Fierce Battle, Legendary power. Unlike Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who came out for the 7th anniversary, I do want to give Vegito Fused Fighter and over in a flash, because if he's leading the Fused Fighter team, like Gogeta was, you want to be able to link better with other fusions, which Gogeta doesn't really do. Vegito will, thanks to this. So, yeah. Now, in terms of teams, he's helping. Because people are like, oh, well, he's just being thrown on every Saiyan team. And then that is true. But he's on a lot of teams. So, final trump card. Potara, which needs buffs badly, because Potara sucks right now. Let's be honest. If you look at the Potara category, you will see that it is ass. So, yeah, That just keep that in mind. Next is Realm of Gods, which is also kind of ass right now, so this would also be a good buff for them. Time Travelers is fine right now, but more buffs is always good. Future Shock is very strong at the moment. Well, is about to be very strong. Kamehameha is obviously a very strong category. Battle of Wits is very good because you have units like Orange Piccolo around and that kind of thing. So you'll be fine. He'll just be a good addition. Time Limit is basically just a fusion category again, but more options is good. Accelerated Battle, another option is good. Battle of Fate. This is a GT duo buff. Since the GT duo, or excuse me, since the GT duo do lead the category, right? So this will help them just have another option on their team. Like their team is strong, but again, more options is good. Fused Fighters, of course, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, and Superheroes, and Joint Forces, and Pure Saiyans, and Bond of Parent Child. Like these last three don't really need buffs, but we're gonna give them anyway. Vegeta's buffing a lot of teams, and then these are the stats I gave him. I didn't want to give him over 20k attack, because again, it's a counter unit and all this jazz. But there are his stats. Like the stats don't really matter. The one that matters the most, of course, is HP, which is over 20k HP, which is fine. So yeah, that's Vegito. Moving on to merged ZAMASU. So I went with Extreme STR. Reason I went with STR over any other typing, because ZAMASU merged ZAMASU doesn't really have anything in Dokkan. Like he's got AGL ZAMASU who fused into merged ZAMASU. He's AGL, right? So sure, he's probably going to easy A this celebration as well. We have Tech merged ZAMASU from like years ago, who's ass. And we have Int LR merged ZAMASU, who came out last year, but he's not corrupted. So you could technically be any typing. I just made him STR because I think that's a good contrast with Vegito. Like AGL, STR, I just like the idea. Anyway, we also have his title, which is Infinite Sanctuary Fused ZAMASU. So yeah, it's Fused ZAMASU who corrupt or like dies, I guess, and goes in Infinite ZAMASU. So we'll get into his leader skill, which I gave an actual like Dokkan Fest leader skill because I assumed he would have been a Dokkan Fest, which he is now. That's basically leaked, right? That both him and Vegeta are both Dokkan Fests. But anyways, Realm of Gods and Worldwide Chaos at 3Q170. Reason I went for this leader skill. Realm of Gods, they've been kind of building up a villain variation of Realm of Gods for like years, like from 2020, like from what I can remember, at least like 3 years ago, they've been building up a villain Realm of Gods and like a superclass Realm of Gods, and we never had the villain leader, so here it is. Well, we do. We have AGL's Monster, but AGL's Monster kind of sucks. Again, he's gonna easy A, but I'd rather just have a modern leader. So Dokkan Fest LR merged ZAMASU with leading Realm of Gods and Worldwide Chaos. Worldwide Chaos needs a new leader. It only has one, I believe, and it's Attack Androids, which is obviously pre Red Zone meta, pre 7th anniversary. So them getting a lead. Worldwide Chaos is a big category as well for villains. It's one of the better ones you could have. So with Worldwide Chaos, he's giving buffs to he's giving a team to Piccolo Jr. He's giving a team to like the Majin Boos, like Boo Tanks and like LR Super Boo and all this kind of thing. So it's big. And obviously the Goku Blacks and ZAMASUs and all that. I think like Demon King Piccolo and stuff are even on it. So it's a very good category for villains to have under one roof. So yeah, the extra 30% would be the final trump card and Power of Wishes. So that does cover every Goku Black and ZAMASU. It covers like Piccolo Jr. Because of Realm of Gods as a final trump card, you can actually get like the blue fusions on this team, like God Goku's on this team. There's I think Blue Kaioken is on it. There's a lot. It's actually quite a strong leader skill. Again, mostly villain based, but you can definitely toss on some very good super class units. So in terms of super attack effects, we have Sacred Wave, which is greatly raising attack for 1 turn and raise defense for 1 turn. Now, if I wanted, people get this often confused, right? They'll think that he's greatly stacking attack here and then raising defense for 1 turn. If he was stacking, I'd put a comma here. Then he'd be stacking, but he's not. It's just a 1 turn attack, greatly attack raise, and a 1 turn like defensive raise. Then with his 18 key, which is Sanctifying Sword of Divine Light, which is massively raising his attack and defense. Sorry, massively raising his attack and greatly raising his defense for 1 turn and greatly lowering attack. ZAMASU, I basically based around massive damage. Like ZAMASU is just gonna come out the gate and he's gonna just like murder you. That's what he's gonna do. That's how he rolls. So let's get into his actual kit, which is the Eternal Shadow consuming all of creation. Like, I like to come up with my super dramatic names or whatever, so this is what I came up with. The Eternal Shadow consuming all of creation. I think it's pretty good. So, let's get into this passive. Yeah, it's a lot. Again, because, listen, we got to push power creep. So, this is how we're doing it. So, activates entrance once only, gets guard for his first turn, and then he's guaranteed critting for 3 turns. Obviously, that's very strong. Guaranteed crits just out the gate, very good. And then 1 turn guard. The animation I see for his intro is him just like corrupting for the first time. Like after like, it's him like screaming like Son Goku, and then he like wants the like divine lightning to strike him, and then he kind of just gets his big purple corrupted arm. So that's the intro. It would be an amazing intro, by the way. That would probably be my favorite intro in the game. If they pair up a really good OST with it, it will be my favorite intro. Because my personal favorite intro is actually into Merge ZAMASU's. So it would be fitting for corrupted Merge ZAMASU to actually replace him as my favorite intro. Anyways, so he gives himself 6 key and 200% attack and defense at the start of turn. I forgot to put the percent sign. There we go, 200% attack and defense. He gains an additional 166% attack when launching a super attack, and it does have a great chance to crit, so a 70% chance to crit when it's an 18 key. So that's a multiplicative of 166%. Again, ZAMASU is all about damage. That's what he does. So the 200% start of turn, the guaranteed crits, and then 166% attack on super is so much. It's just so much damage. He randomly changes the type of key sphere other than STR to STR, and he gets double key per STR key sphere. ZAMASU probably won't struggle for key since he's going to be changing key spheres himself, as well as what's it called? As well as my brain. As well as guarding, guaranteed crits, all this jazz. So, anyways, we'll keep going here. We have 33% damage reduction. A lot of with villains, I like to add the number 66. A lot with Goku Blacks and a few ZAMASUs, they do 66. So that's why you see the 166, blah blah blah. So I'm not giving him 66% reduction, otherwise I have to lower his defense quite a lot. So he's getting 33% reduction, which is half of 66. I mean, only half of him is immortal, so we can say that's the ZAMASU side rather than the Goku Black side. He gains an additional 66% defense for 5 turns once he gets hit once, which is multiplicative buff, obviously strong. Again, ZAMASU's not a slot 1 unit, but you definitely could get away with it on his first turn anyway, because he's guarding, right? You could definitely get away with that. Plus an additional 66% attack, and launch a guaranteed additional Super 1 key is 24. So you could guaranteed crit on his first turn, get another 66 multiplicative buff. Like multiple supers, guaranteed crits. ZAMASU's going nuts. And then last thing I actually took from into Goku Black, into LR Goku Black, into LR Rose Goku Black. That guy from 5-year anniversary. One of my favorite units of all time. Super hype when he came out. I'm taking the key meter ability, so he gets extra stats per key meter. So it's just for each key, like you see, like units at 20 key, they're at that's 120% of this. So ZAMASU gets extra stats per key he has. So if ZAMASU's at full 24 key, he's getting extra stats. So the best turn you can get out of ZAMASU, you really want to aim for 24k. So you're getting the most stats, you're getting the additional multiplicative attack, you're getting the additional super 24k. You want ZAMASU to be at 24k. And I think he won't struggle too hard to get there, to be honest. So I don't know how domain skills work, or Dokkan fields or whatever. I don't know how they work. So I'm kind of just taking it as a giant transformation idea. That's kind of how I'm running with it. So yeah, how I'm working with it is it can be activated when HP is 66% or less, starting from the 6th turn. So it's not very easy to get, but I think it's very strong. We could make it easier. We could remove the turn restriction, but I think if you removed it, it would be too good. Because it's basically, the way I'm interpreting it is just as a giant form, basically, which I named ZAMASU is just as ZAMASU is the universe, which I'm pretty sure he says. So yeah, so it only has 3 abilities here. So receives double key per key sphere, launches an additional attack with a high chance to become a super attack, and then super effective against all types and a high chance to crit. It's basically just a really busted giant form. It's basically the combination of Orange Piccolo's giant form and Piccolo Junior's. It's very dumb. But again, I don't know how Dokkan Field's going to work. I doubt it's going to work like this. It's probably going to be something completely new, completely different mechanic, which I'm very excited to like figure out and see how that runs or whatever. But until then, we won't know. Link skills: Big Bad Bosses, Dismal Future, Godly Power, Nightmare, Fused Fighter, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. This is actually the same link set as into Merge ZAMASU, which doesn't matter since you can't link them together anyway. Maybe you can when he becomes Infinite ZAMASU. I don't know. We'll see. And then categories he's buffing: Worldwide Chaos, Batara, Realm of Gods, Future Saga, Time Travelers, Final Trump Card, Battle of Fate, Fused Fighters, Power of Wishes. These are all teams that need buffs. All of them. So, again. Oh, and Exploding Rage as well, obviously. And then his stats, like I gave him a ridiculously high attack stat because I want to, pull ZAMASU down. I want to be dropping like 20 million attack stats like turn 1 with guaranteed crits and all this stuff. That's what I expect from ZAMASU. That's what I want to see. So yeah, that's the video. That is my concepts for LR merges ZAMASU and LR fusing Vegito Blue. Let me know what you guys think. If they're too good, or I didn't make them good enough, or did you find some of the mechanics interesting, or what do you think Dokkan Field's gonna be, and how excited are people to summon? Like that's the real thing. So with that said, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.